Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kal Halayim Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Harachak Wadash. Double honors to my teachers, the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who rule well and are worthy of their double honors. Peace and blessing to you, Akim, across the four corners, pushing out this truth during these last seconds of time. All right, Shalom. This lesson is going to be entitled, So Much Given, So Much Required. So much given, so much required. All right? Because ultimately, if we are of the elect, if we are of that number, we are laboring to enter into that rest being the kingdom of heaven. And that is so much that will be given unto us. So in exchange, so much is required from us by Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man. All right? Romans the 12th chapter goes into making your body a living sacrifice. So we live each and every day to liken ourselves and fashion ourselves through this fiery trial and fashion ourselves unto whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. All right, Yahweh Shai, who was that ultimate sacrifice for the nation of Israel, right? Because the Lord didn't ultimately have to choose us. The Lord didn't have to choose us, man. Us being the nation of Israel, all right? He didn't have to select a specific number and call them the elect. The Lord chose to do those things. He chose us, Lord willing, I'm of that number. Chose us to do what? His will. Keep his law, statutes, and commandments. Hearken unto his word. Seek ye the book and read. As for us and our house, we shall serve Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right. So this is Sirach chapter 44, verse 1. Let us now praise famous men and our fathers that begat us. The Lord had wrought great glory by them through his great power from the beginning. That's right, man. The Lord had wrought great glory by them through his great power from the beginning. That's why we're called the elect, chosen, set apart, holy. Starting with the nation of Israel. All right. We walk in the light of our forefathers. This is Sirach chapter 17, verse 17. For in the division of the nations of the old earth, he set a rule over every people. But Israel is the Lord's portion. Right. So the Lord, all right, he divided the nations and he picked out Israel as his portion out of all the other nations on the planet Earth. Then amongst Israel, he picked out 144,000 pertaining to Revelation, the 7th chapter, 12,000 from each tribe. All right. His kings, priests, judges that were with him in the beginning. All right. Add them all the way down onto Noah, Genesis, the 5th chapter. All right. Arphaxad, going all the way down onto Eber, Peleg, Terah, roughly paraphrasing down to Abraham, all right, Isaac, Jacob, all right. From Jacob came the 12 tribes. So those are our patriarchs, those are our forefathers, and we walk in their shoes, man, because Lord willing, we are them, man, all right. Coming back in the reincarnation, it said, verse 2, the Lord had wrought great glory by them through his great power from the beginning. That's right. Because at the beginning you had the Elohim, all right, 144,000 judges, rulers, kings, priests. But who's that top judge or power, all right? Yahweh Shai through Yahweh, man, the Father. But he appointed 144,000, all right, to govern with him as joint heirs, man, all right? Verse 3, such as did bear rule in their kingdoms, men renowned for their power, giving counsel by their understanding and declaring prophecies. All right. And these men of renown, all right, are those same giants, okay, in Genesis, the 6th chapter, man. All right. Those same giants, those same men of renown, all right, our ancient forefathers who wrought great glory in their kingdoms that they ruled in, man. And ultimately in this kingdom, man, which is the last here in America, scattered across the four corners. All right. We've been brought back in these specific times so we can walk in that glory of our forefathers, man. All right, and ultimately reign with Yahushua forever. It says leaders of the people by their counsels. And where did they get counsel from? The heavens. Okay, I know. I'm going to keep reading on this. It says, verse 4 again, leaders of the people by their counselors and by their knowledge of learning meet for the people. Wise and eloquent are their instructions. That's right. And the Lord said he's going to return the judges of old. He's going to restore them. All right. The scriptures tell you in due time, all right, the prudent shall rule, man. He will set up the appointed rulers in due time, and now we see they're being set back up. Our forefathers of old, the Lord is setting his house back up, man. But he's ultimately searching his house to get those imperfections out, man. So though much is given unto us, we're going to receive all this glory. Much is required. We have to work out our salvation with fear and trembling. We have to tend to the Lord's business, build his house, keep our oil burning and our lamps bright. Keep this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding near to us. Watch, hearken. The Lord isn't giving us this fame or call us famous for nothing, man. Because fame, according to this world, is riches, all right, a platform, social media, notorious. Nah, man, famous to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua are the men that do his will. Enoch means dedicated. That's likened on to the elect, man. That learned man who the Lord is dealing with and supplying with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. But though the Lord is going to bestow all this glory upon us, the kingdom of heaven, dominion over these other nations, a lot is required from us in our personal lives, man. Individually and as a whole amongst the churches, man. The Lord requires a high calling out of us. You got to upgrade. Don't be comfortable with yesterday. You got to keep pushing. And you got to do it in decency and order, with humility, meekness, temperance, as a good servant awaiting upon the Father to return upon that long journey, man. So it says, such wise and eloquent are their instructions. That's right. That advisors of the planet Earth. That's the 144,000 of elect. What do? They watch. They pray. Palal wa Shamar. They report. They upbraid. They do all these things, and the Lord rewards them. And the Lord is going to reward us with ultimately fame on this society, man. On this side. All right. It's not going to be the fame according to the world. It's going to be heavenly fame. We're going to be known for our wisdom, for watching, for being prophets to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, Lord willing, we're that number. Not for getting a rap deal, signing a rap deal, all right? Or having the hottest music video. Or having the biggest chain or the nicest watch, man. Nah, we're going to be known for heavenly things. Because that's the best way to be known, man. You will want to be known that our Creator is dealing with you. To be a part of the Lord's ministry is the highest calling, the highest occupation. I believe it's Sirach 38 goes into he that giveth his mind to law will be occupied in prophecy. You seek out the sayings of old. He'll be conversing in dark parables, roughly paraphrasing. That's the lot of our forefathers. And we're coming back into those lots to show that, Lord willing, we're those men, all right, that our fathers begot, all right, those famous men. But even then, with the fame and the glory of the kingdom and being known as a man of the Lord, a lot is going to be required out of each and every one of us if we are that number. You're going to have to work hard for it. It's not going to be easy. But when it's obtained, it's going to be worked for. If something is just given to you, then it's like, might be careless with it. You might not put it in that value seat as if it were worked for. But if you worked for it, you like, man, I put in blood, sweat, and tears for that. I remained diligent for that. I was patient for that. I waited. I suffered for it. Man, that's a feeling like no other. So it says, such as found out musical tunes and recited verses in writing. And that's like these scriptures. Precept upon precept, line upon line. Revelation 14 goes into that new song. All right? That new song is that old song, the Lord coming in the volume of the book. That old song being in Exodus 15. Sing unto the Lord, he triumpheth valiantly. All right? He thrown Pharaoh and his horses and their riders into the sea, man. So that's the song we sing of our ancient forefathers, man. Leading up into this point right here, right now, man, where all hell is about to break loose here in America, across the four corners. All right, and there's going to be no turning it down. All right. So as much as we're going to be delivered, Lord willing, all right, and saved, it's not going to be easy. And you shouldn't want it easy. You shouldn't want it to be easy, because anything worth having is worth working for. So it says, rich men furnished with ability, living peaceably in their habitations. Right? And that's Jacob, man. Smooth, dwelling in tents, peaceable. That's the nature of our forefathers, man. Doing the will of the Lord. It says, all these were honored in their generations and were the glory of their times. Right? And the Lord has a glory of these times, which is his precious elect, once again, whom he is well pleased. How is he well pleased in them? Because he's tried them. He knows that they're approved. He knows that they won't waver. They won't turn. They won't bend. They won't break. They're indestructible. Why? Because the Lord made them that way from the beginning. So it says, there be of them that have left a name behind, that their praises might be reported of it. Salakia. Verse 8 again, there be of them that have left a name behind them, and their praise might be reported. You see? And how are their praises reported? Through this great book. Through these scriptures. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Moses, Noah, Isaiah, Hosea, Jeremiah, Malachi, Nehemiah, and so on and so forth, man. All right? All confirming that the prophets are back right here, right now, across the four corners. All right? Singing that new song and a lot of their forefathers. But in that same breath, all right, the Lord requires a lot out of us for having obtained this wisdom and knowledge and understanding, have obtained this mercy. This is Luke 12 and 47. I'm going to start at 46. It says, it's Yahweh Shai speaking red letters. It says, the Lord of that servant will come in a day when he looketh not for him. Right. And the Lord is going to come as a thief in the night in this day, when the society looketh not for him. Right. But this is a parable because we know the Lord's servants are going to be found watching. Blessed is he that is found watching. All right. The society is going to be caught off guard. We're children of the day. All right. We're not in ignorance to what's going to go on here in America. So that's why we're fighting and suffering. Like the scriptures tell you, he that suffer in the flesh have ceased from sin. We're suffering in this flesh, man, to obtain something that's greater than us. But to obtain that, a lot is required out of us. The Lord has placed a lot of accountability and responsibility on our shoulders, man. A lot of weight to carry. But in the end, it's going to be known as a light affliction, but for a moment. All right, so it says, and at an hour when he is not aware, and will cut him in asunder, and will appoint him his portion with the unbelievers. Why? Because you didn't prepare. All right. You weren't willing to accept that a lot will be required out of you for being a part of that promise of our forefathers. All right, you wanted it the easy way? Well, go be in the world. Take the broad gate. Everybody's going through that gate. Everybody's drunk off the wine of Babylon. Sober up some, man. This is a war cry. So it says, verse 47, and that servant which knew his Lord's will and prepared not himself, neither did according to his will, shall be beaten with many stripes. Matthew the 25th chapter goes into that. Those 5 wise virgins and the 5 foolish virgins. Right? The 5 wise ones, they took up their all, kept their lamps burning. The 5 foolish did not. All right? The scriptures tell you there's treasure and oil in the house of the wise, but a foolish man spendeth it up. So if you're not preparing in that day when the Father comes, you're going to be cut with your portion of the unbelievers, man. You're going to get that same portion as an unbeliever. So suffer. All right? It says, but he that knew not and did commit things worthy of stripes shall be beaten with few stripes. That's why it's better to not even have known, man, than to know and just not do anything with it or just despise the truth. Go back into the world. It says, but he that knew not and did commit things worthy of stripes shall be beaten with few stripes. For unto whomsoever much is given, of him shall be much required. And to whom men have committed much, of him they will ask the more. That's right. So if the Lord has given you a high calling, all right, a lot of leadership, a high office, all right, of you, they will ask the more, man. You're going to have more responsibilities. All right, you're going to have more duties. Scriptures tell you he that increases knowledge increases sorrow. So there's going to be more tests, more trials. You're going to have to use more wisdom. All right, so Lord willing, this message was edifying. So much given, so much required. I'm going to say Sama, Yasha'Allah, Yahweh, Allahayanawa, Yahweh, Ahud. As Hero Israel, the Lord our power is one Lord. Double honors to my teachers, the apostles and the elders, a great millstone. Peace and blessing to you, Akim, pushing out this truth across the 4 corners during these last seconds of time. Kwam Yasha'Allah, Shalom.